Hi, my name is Nicole Skurza, and I'm going to be discussing underage drinking. I believe that the legal drinking age should remain 21 years old in the United States. The 4 points that I'm going to be presenting today are for keeping the drinking age at 21. My first point is going to talk about crime and death rates in young adults due to alcohol. My second point is going to be about the adolescent anatomy. My third point is going to be about binge drinking issues in youth. And my fourth and final point is going to be on European drinking policies, because they're not always the best. For my first point, the crime and death rates in adolescents has increased due to alcohol. According to ncbi.gov, alcohol consumption is the third leading actual cause of death in the United States. It's the leading cause of death for youth and young adults. Of 79 studies conducted of alcohol minimum age, 58% of them found fewer cases of problems in society with a higher minimum drinking age. This means that when you're older and you purchase alcohol, you'll be more or less likely to have a problem in society. According to the CDC, excessive alcohol consumption led to over 4,700 deaths in underage drinkers. This includes about 1,900 deaths from motor vehicle crashes, about 1,600 homicides, roughly 300 suicides, as well as hundreds of other injuries such as falls, burns, drownings, beatings, etc. According to procon.org, since the drinking age has increased from the 1970s, traffic accidents have actually decreased between the ages of 18 to 20 years old by 13% from 1975 to 2008. According to hoover.org, underage consumption of alcohol has been linked with violence, such as setting fires and physical fighting. For my second point, I'm going to be talking about the adolescent anatomy, because it's still growing. According to ncbi.gov, drinking in adolescence and early initiation of alcohol use is associated with alcohol problems in adulthood. One study of those able to produce alcohol under the age of 21 proved that you're more likely to have alcohol or other drug-related disorders later in life. This means that if you're under the age of 21 and consume alcohol or purchase alcohol, you're more likely to be considered to have a drug or alcohol dependence. Your frontal lobe is associated with emotions, personality, memory, and planning. According to procon.org, the frontal lobe is not fully developed until early adulthood, which leads to chronic problems, especially when consuming alcohol. When the frontal lobe is in this stage, there are more problems that can occur. Drinking underage has led to risk-taking. These risk-takers seek the thrill, and when they are under the influence of alcohol, they may make decisions that would be thought to be ridiculous if sober. This shows that if you're under the age of 21, your frontal lobe is still not developed, even until your mid-20s, which shows that when you're 18, you aren't able to make proper decisions. Alcohol has also been linked with liver problems. When the alcohol consumption begins at an early age, the liver is more at risk and becomes damaged earlier in life. Adolescents that are overweight and consume alcohol have also shown elevated liver enzymes, even with the slightest amount of alcohol. This shows how damaging this is to youth of all sizes and ages. According to the CDC, drinking at a young age is linked with impaired driving, leads to physical fighting, poor school performance, increased sexual activity, and smoking, which are all prominent problems in society today. For my third point, there is a link between binge drinking and adolescence, and there are many problems associated with that. The definition of binge drinking, according to preventionworks.org, is consuming 5 or more drinks in a row. And according to the CDC, about 22% of young adults binge drink. Also, 1.5 billion people 18 and older binge drink on multiple occasions. States with more stringent alcohol policies have lower college and adult binge drinking rates. This means that if you live in a state with a more strict alcohol policy, then your state is more likely to be safe for young adults. According to procon.org, binge drinking has been linked with illicit drug use among the ages of 18 to 21. This shows the link with the reckless decisions made in the second point. My fourth and final point is about European drinking ages and how they're not that good of role models, contrary to popular arguments. According to the ncbi.gov, Europe has drinking problems too. Adolescents from the ages between 15 and 16 binge drink double the rate of the United States, even though it's legal in some countries. New Zealand lowered their drinking age from 20 to 18, which led to an increased alcohol admission to the ER and increased traffic crashes between the ages of 15 to 19, even though it was legal, which shows how underdeveloped your brain is. According to BBC, the Dutch population drinking age is already 18, but more and more are drinking earlier and have more problems. Dutch hospitals have now started to have specialized clinics for youth drinkers. This shows the alcohol dependence and what it does to early drinkers. 40% of Ukrainian children between the ages of 11 to 12 drink, and this leads to developmental problems with the brain and liver, mentioned in the second point. According to PreventionWorks.org, 30-day intervals are used to indicate current and regular drinkers. 21 European countries had higher rates of underage binge drinking, even though it's legal. A summary of these: this is, even though it's legal in some European countries, binge drinking is prominent all the time. In conclusion, drinking should remain 21 and not be lowered. Also, the United States should not be comparing drinking ages to European countries, because they may not be as good as they seem.